Hi everyone, Una of Little O Nutrition here, coming at you with less of a moan and just more of a bit of advice as we approach Easter. So this advice is mostly aimed at parents, but I'm sure it will be helpful to lots of you grown-ups out there too. So what I want to talk about is how we create sugar deprivation. So what I'm talking about is how often we get parents who highly control their child's diet in a bid to make sure they're getting good nutritious food, they're having an appropriate diet, they're in good health, all that stuff. And that's absolutely great. But it becomes an issue at times of the year, like now, where there's an abundance of sugar and chocolate and things like that around. So when we basically stop our children having sugar day to day, it's like it's the same as putting an adult on a restriction diet, because it creates that deprivation. Okay, it's still the same. It's basically like a kid diet, okay? But what we do is we cut out sugar in lots of different forms. We don't have it in the house, we don't give it to them in their packed lunch, and we might not even allow it at weekends. And while I completely get that, I completely understand where it's coming from, and I know it's a place of love and the want for your child to be healthy and happy, I don't think it's the most helpful thing we can do. Because what happens is, eventually your child's nutrition or eating will be out of your control, whether that's at a birthday party or at Christmas or at Easter or at a school party or at a disco or whatever it is. It'll be out of your control and into their hands. And what they're going to do probably is binge. I've seen it happen before. If you're ever at a child's birthday party, pay attention, okay? Look for the kids as they come in to the table, as there inevitably is at a child's birthday party, a table full of food. There'll be some healthy options, there'll be some treat foods, but there'll be a mix of things. And you will notice most kids who have open access to a variety of foods all the time will come in, observe what's there, take something that they want, and go back to the party, go back to the dancing, go back to the games, or whatever they're doing. Kids who have not been exposed to those foods sufficiently, what they will do is they will stand at the table and eat something of everything and go back to the thing that they like, and they will keep eating that thing as much as they can physically eat. And the reason that happens is because they haven't been exposed to it, and they taste it and they're like, oh my God, sugar is delicious. And they kind of can't control themselves eating it. The same thing happens with adults as well. If we haven't let ourselves have something in a long time, I mean, you can easily, eat a full bag of Doritos or whatever by yourself. This is, again, it's just the kid version, and this is how it manifests. And I've even I've heard of situations, from other nutritionists where they have clients who are parents who are coming in saying, oh my God, I'm finding all these sweet wrappers in my child's bedroom, where their child is kind of like secret eating chocolate bars because their parents aren't allowing them to have it. And the reality is they're going to get it anyway. You might as well expose them a little bit in an appropriate way. So I figured this week, coming to Easter, is the perfect time to talk about this. So what I would do to initiate the discussion is, I think this should be done, in a family meeting type way, where everyone has time to talk and you can kind of provide a little bit of education and they get to give their point of view as well. Because it shouldn't just be, although you're the parent and you do have the authority at the end of the day, it shouldn't just be, this is how we're doing it and that's it. Because then that's not really helping them for when they're older and they have to make their own food choices, right? So what we need to do is have a discussion about how all foods are important and all foods provide different types of nutrients or different types of energy, but they're all important. We have to have a balance though. That sweets are tasty, they provide us with lots of energy, and so it's really helpful to have them in our diet, especially if we like them. But if we have too much sweets, we tend to get a poorly tummy and it's bad for our teeth. So, and then it's talking about different types of foods that they like and all that good stuff. And it's about saying, you don't have to eat all your chocolate eggs at once. We can keep them in this place in the house. This is where they're going to be. If you want some, let me know. And if they're constantly asking for just chocolate, 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 that's your point to exert your authority as the parent and say, well, actually, you've already had chocolate today. Let's have a different snack, like a yogurt or a piece of fruit or some crackers or whatever. But it's not about creating deprivation. It's about educating and making them part of the decision so that every food fits. Thanks, guys.